Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive secret hiding in plain sight, the credit card debt trap. You see, the entire system basically relies on you just not knowing how to get out of it. But today, we're not doing theory. I'm going to give you the exact insider scripts you need to literally negotiate your way to freedom. Over $1 trillion. Let that sink in. That is the all-time high of American credit card debt right now. And the absolute worst part, a massive chunk of that is just sitting on cards charging like 24% interest or more. Every day, you hear generic finance advice telling you, oh, just pay more than the minimum or use the snowball method. And hey, cool, thanks. That's super helpful advice, if you actually have the extra cash.
But what if you don't have that money to spare? What if you're already, say, 3 cards deep, and those minimum payments are just absolutely eating your entire paycheck? The idea of just paying extra feels like a complete joke, right? Being told to skip your morning latte doesn't really work when you're literally suffocating under 24% interest rates. You need a totally different strategy here.
Section 1. The hidden math. Let's look at why banks secretly negotiate. All right, here's the truth they really don't want you to know. Your credit card company absolutely does not want you to default. If you look at the math, a defaulted account that gets sent to collections, that is worth significantly less to them than keeping you as a slightly less profitable customer on adjusted terms. You are not begging them for a favor here. You're actually offering them a deal that protects their bottom line. And that right there, that is your secret leverage. They know this math so well that banks literally budget for it. Seriously, they have entire hidden departments, usually called hardship or retention departments, and their only job is to stop you from going to collections. They are paid to keep you paying. Moving on to Section 2, the insider's playbook. We're going to break down this phone call step by step. So we know they negotiate, and we know they have these hidden departments, but how do you actually get through to them? Well, before we dive into the exact scripts, here's your 5-step roadmap. 1. Call and ask. 2. State your situation. 3. Ask for options. 4. Escalate if you have to. And 5. Get it in writing. Keep this structure in the back of your mind. This is your exact path to relief. It's simple, it's direct, and it keeps you totally in control. Okay, step 1. Grab your credit card, flip it over, call the number on the back, and explicitly ask for the financial hardship department. Please, do not waste your time explaining your whole life story to regular customer service. You gotta use this exact phrase to bypass the front line. Say those precise words, financial hardship department. Now, what if that first person says no or claims they can't help you? Totally fine. Just use this fallback script. I understand, can you transfer me to the hardship or retention team? This is a real department, guys. It exists. Do not take a no from a frontline employee who literally doesn't even have the authority to say yes. Just confidently push right past them. All right, step 2 is stating your situation and doing it in just one sentence. Say exactly this. I've had a change in my income and I'm struggling to keep up with my payments at this interest rate. I'd like to discuss options to lower my rate or set up a repayment plan before this becomes a missed payment. Boom. Don't over-explain, it's honest, it's proactive, and it immediately demands options. And that brings us to step 3, asking for those options. You want to explicitly ask for one of 3 things here. First, a temporary interest rate reduction. That usually lasts somewhere between 3 to 12 months. Second, a permanent rate reduction, which is totally possible if you've been a loyal customer. Or third, a structured hardship repayment plan. This gives you a fixed, lower payment, though just a heads up, they might temporarily close your card to new charges if you do this. Step 4 is for when you inevitably hit a wall. If the rep says no, don't just hang up and accept defeat. Ask this exact question. Is there a supervisor or a different program I can be considered for? Asking to politely escalate isn't rude at all. It's honestly necessary. Frontline reps in these departments sometimes just lack the full authority to approve those really helpful deep-cut hardship plans. See, most banks have internal programs they just flat out do not advertise on their websites. We're talking temporary 0% APR windows or even fee waivers. And these programs change constantly. So the trick isn't memorizing a list of what a specific bank offers today. It's just knowing they exist and asking for them by these specific internal names: hardship program, workout plan, or temporary rate reduction. And finally, step 5. Listen, this is the part so many people skip and it ruins everything. Get it in writing. Before you even think about hanging up that phone, demand an email or a letter confirming whatever you both just agreed to. Because verbal agreements over the phone, they are incredibly hard to enforce if the bank system conveniently doesn't update properly. You gotta protect yourself.
Section 3, the settlement option. This is for if things have already gone too far.
So, what if you're already past the point of being proactive and you've already missed some payments? Hey, don't panic. Your leverage absolutely still exists, but your strategy just shifts a bit. Instead of asking for a hardship plan, you're now asking for debt settlement. This is where you offer a lump sum, usually around 40 to 60% of what you actually owe, in exchange for the account being closed and officially marked as settled. And here is the exact script for that settlement call. Listen closely. You absolutely do not need to pay a predatory debt settlement company huge fees to do this for you. You can literally say this yourself. Quote, I'd like to discuss settling this account. I can offer a lump sum payment of X amount to close this account as paid in full or settled. Is this something we can arrange? Just fill in your dollar amount. Remember, you're offering them cash today to stop the bleeding on an account they probably assumed was a total loss. Section 4, the catch. Let's go over some honest warnings and next steps. Because we need to be brutally honest here. Negotiating your debt definitely has consequences. First off, a settled status stays on your credit report for years, and yeah, it's going to impact your score. It's way better than an outright default, but it isn't free. Second, you really need to be aware of the 1099-C tax form. If the bank forgives more than $600 in a settlement, they legally have to report that to the IRS as taxable income. So ask the bank directly on the call if they're going to issue a 1099, just so you aren't completely blindsided by a tax bill next April. Look, none of this fixes the bigger problem, that credit is just incredibly expensive and these companies profit immensely from you staying in debt longer. But you are absolutely allowed to ask for a better deal. The whole system practically depends on your silence. It depends on most people never picking up the phone. So break the silence. And that actually leaves us with a massive question to ponder. What actually happens to the intricate details of your credit report when you settle a debt versus paying it off slowly? Well, that is exactly what we'll be uncovering in our next explainer. Stay curious, stay empowered, and I'll see you then.